Well, it's your lucky day. It is Friday the 13th, 2015, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good morning and happy Friday.
Oh, happy everything to you. Are you superstitious?
No.
You're not?
Not at all.
Well, nor am I. My mother was.
I know a lot of people that are, but I have never been.
Yeah, there are even some people who say, no, I'm not at all superstitious. But then they won't walk under a ladder, which is not very smart anyway because things fall. But
today being the Friday the 13th, I'm sure that has run through and crossed several people's minds.
Oh, I'm sure it has. It's a lot of fun anyway.
Yeah, it sure is.
Sure is. Well, let's see here. Out at the Senior Center today, today being the 13th, this afternoon's movie begins at 2 o'clock, and it is a classic.
What is it?
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Is it really?
All the Audrey Hepburn movies.
Yeah.
Love, love, love them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I'm trying to think. There used to be like a collection of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what was it like? I'm trying to think of some of the names of them, right? Sabrina.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Well, there were several.
Roman, something like that. Roman, I think. Oh,
Audrey Hepburn was such a talent.
Oh, my goodness.
Such a talent.
Yeah, they were precious. Really cute movies.
Anyway, that's today at 2 o'clock at the Senior Center. That's the afternoon movie matinee. Also at 4 o'clock today, don't forget Chair Yoga. Isn't that what Michael?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Chair Yoga.
Chair Yoga.
That's right.
Interesting.
And tonight is the father-daughter dance at Herman Park Center.
Right. That's
right. It sure is. Herman Park Center.
Park Center. I think tickets are what?
$7.
$7. All right. And you probably still have room to get in.
I'm sure you can if you give them a call. The number is 739-7480.
That's
at Herman Park Center.
Very popular event.
Oh, yes.
Coming up on, listen to this now, at the Family Y on February 20th.
Yes.
The Family Y, Goldsboro Parks and Recreation, and Wayne County Services on Aging will be at the Seeger Senior Center on East Ash Street, February 20th.
What are they doing?
For the Winter Dance for Seniors.
All right.
Yeah, boogie, gonna get down, gonna have a good time. DJ Wildheart, one of my favorite people there, will play all your favorites, and your refreshments will be served. The dance is absolutely free to anyone 50 and over.
How about that?
50 and over. So they're gonna let the youngsters in.
Yes, they are.
Anyway, if you want more information about this, Stacia Fields can help you. So can Aaron McAuliffe. Stacia's at 739. Pardon me again. 739-7486, 739-7486, or you can call Aaron McAuliffe at the Senior Center at 705-1785, 705-1785.
Exactly. Well, I have talked with Mark Wilson recently from Goldsboro Parks and Recreation, and they are excited about being a part of the Down East Open. It is a golf tournament where 3 municipal golf courses are partnering together, and I know it's Goldsboro and Greenville. I can't remember the third town. But they are partnering together, and you'll have a different day that March 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Each day you'll be at a different municipal golf course as a part of this Down East Open.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you want to find out more about that, you can call them at Herman Park or at Goldsboro Parks and Recreation, and that's the 739-7480 number.
There you go.
Yeah, for some reason I'm remembering that number.
Well, that's a good number to remember.
Yes, it is. But that's called the Down East Open, and that's a golf tournament. Excited about that.
You know, that's a lot of fun because you're going to be playing a different course each day.
Yeah, in different towns.
That's right.
Pretty neat.
That's right.
You can register at downeast.com, I believe, or downeastopen.com.
Downeastopen.com. Mm-hmm. Okay. I had previous jobs before they became famous and all that stuff. Tom Cruise.
What did he do?
Well, his family moved around a lot when he was young, but during one stint, they lived in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes.
Louisville, Kentucky. He picked up some extra cash as a paper boy.
Oh, okay.
So Tom Cruise was a paper boy.
I bet a lot of people have done that job.
Yeah, well.
Back in the day.
Yours
you done
truly.
it too?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. In snow and sleet and hail and gloom of night.
Gotta love
it. Yeah, all of that stuff.
The paper's got to go out no matter what.
Paper's got to go out. That's exactly right. Ed McMahon. He knew his voice was going to be valuable early on, so as a teenager, he worked as a carnival barker.
Interesting.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. See the bearded giraffe.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so, and that was as a teenager. He also worked as a bingo caller.
I can hear that. I can see that.
B-17.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, he later put himself through college working as a pitchman for vegetable slicers. They slice, they dice, and all that stuff on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey. That was Ed McMahon.
Everybody's held some interesting jobs.
Bill McMurray.
Bill Murray?
Bill Murray, not McMurray. Bill Murray. You remember the movie Caddyshack?
Of course I do.
Well, he worked as a greenskeeper when he was a
Did
youngster.
he really?
Yeah, he was a greenskeeper.
Oh, wow.
He also sold chestnuts on the side outside a grocery store. And Brad Pitt?
Yes.
He did all sorts of things to earn a buck while he was starting his career, including dressing as a giant chicken.
Oh, my.
To promote the El Polo Loco restaurant.
Too funny,
a giant
too funny.
Chicken. Wasn't there a movie, Dog Day Afternoon or something, where he dressed up as... No, I'm thinking of something else. Anyway,
let's go to our interviews.
Let's do it.
Hi, I'm Erin Akery. Welcome to the Downtown Living Show. Today we'll visit with Uniquely Ours, Ed's Southern Food and Spirits, and the Laughing Owl. Today with Ruthie Glisson of Uniquely Ours and the Gladstone to learn more about the Gladstone. So Ruthie, thank you for having me today.
Thank you for coming.
Now, for folks that have not been to Uniquely Ours or the Gladstone, can you kind of explain your vision for both of those?
Yes, it's scary though. So if you were in here, it's out here. Uniquely Ours is artisan driven. We try to bring in small quantities of really lovely things, and everything is hand picked at the front of the shop. We go to market in both Seattle and Atlanta, and we go through the millions of vendors. I go through as many of them as I can and bring things back that I think are really beautiful at a great price point, something that I hope you won't find anyplace else. We do try and bring in as much American product as we can. My husband's retired, and so we believe in defending from within. But having said that, I do intentionally go out of country for our glass and crystal that comes from France. We have some lovely toys that are made in Europe. So that's Uniquely Ours. And then the Gladstone is just, it's sort of my soul. I hope you feel like you're transported back in time to the 1920s, the 1930s. I hope you're infused with the music and the water and the feel and the ambiance of this space. It's designed for you to share, and the premise is that you're sharing this moment of your time with somebody who's significant to you, a friend, a family member. So you're sharing a French press of tea or coffee, this moment in time, and your dessert, which we serve you on one plate with 2 forks. And of course, you're allowed to have more.
Can I eat it all by myself?
You can, but you know. Or if it's too much, we'll box it up and let you take it home.
Perfect.
So, and that's the Gladstone. We also do, as well as our coffees and teas, which we bring in from all over the world. And while you can take them home and prepare them, we would love for you to have them back here. We serve them in a French press, on a silver tray, in a French pedestal mug. And try to make it, we froth your milk at the table. And we also serve wine, and we have the ability to serve it by the bottle or the glass. And if you'd like to purchase a bottle, I can certainly recork it, and whatever you don't use, I'll wrap up and you can take it home.
Perfect.
We have wines that have never been to America before, certainly not to North Carolina. We also have a selection that you'll recognize, some lovely wines that are something that you will enjoy, that you're already familiar with.
Right. So for folks like myself who have never really experienced anything like this before, you know, we're used to the run-of-the-mill coffee shops that you go in and you know what to expect. And like you said, when I come in here, I feel like I'm transported to a different time. But I don't really have much experience with French press coffee or Belgian coffee. So how do you go about recommending someone or something to a customer that has never experienced it, like myself?
Well, if you're new to the tea world, we have so many different varieties of teas and tisanes. And a tisane is French for tea-like. Means we treat it the same way we would a tea. We introduce it to the hot water, but it does not come from the tea plant, which is a camellia. So to be a true tea, you have to come from that plant. Now, a rooibos or a tisane comes from South Africa and the redbush plant. So we have all different types, and we also have some herbals. If you had never had tea before and you loved coffee, I'd probably suggest to you something like a caramel apple black, which is a lovely stout hearty tea. It goes, and so we invite you to sniff test. So you'll take the lid off the jars, and I'll help you try and hone in on what you love, and we'll ask you to twist the lids off, and we caution you not to breathe deep because we get them in every 7 to 14 days, so about every 11 days.
Fresh.
So it's very fresh, and if you were to go, we might have to pick you up off the floor. So we encourage the sniffing of, and they're just really lovely, and all of them have their own body, their own bouquet, much like wines. Coffees and teas are the same way. They have undernotes and high notes. So again, I'd go back to the caramel apple black if you had never had tea before, because when you twist that lid and you smell it, there's this really, really lovely, rich apple and caramel smell to it, almost like a tobacco, almost like a whiskey. So I know.
You're making me really thirsty now.
Oh, sorry. But we have lovely hearty teas like that are actually designed to have with your meal. They're great with potatoes and beans and meat. I mean,
so just like wine, you can pair it with certain foods.
Exactly. And all our teas are designed to do a second run, a second infusion, a second press. They're that fresh. So a normal steep is 3 to 5 minutes, but after you've finished your initial press or infusion, I'm going to ask you to reintroduce the leaf or to hot water yet again. Give it 1 minute longer. So if you gave it a 3-minute steep, you give it a 4-minute steep for the second one. And then if you're not so inclined to have yet another pot of coffee or tea, then if you'll just pop that in the fridge and use it as your iced tea for the rest of the day. All my teas make beautiful iced teas.
That sounds delicious. Yeah. So you can enjoy it any time of the year.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
And you should.
Well, what I love about Uniquely Ours is that you find things here that you really can't find anywhere else in Goldsboro. And I love that you can find something in the store that you like, if you can pick out the tea that you want and enjoy it back here. So can you tell me something else that's unique about your space that you can't find somewhere else in Goldsboro?
Well, the building itself is an architectural gem. It is the oldest commercial brick building in Goldsboro.
Wow.
And the site of the first watch ever made in Goldsboro. Mr. Giddon made it here approximately where we're sitting when this was in fact his workshop. So the building is actually on the National Historic Registry for that. I hope one day to have a little montage of all the wonderful and significant things that have happened here in Mr. Giddon's shop.
And that ties into the clock outside that everyone recognizes.
Yes, which is the
Goldsboro.
oldest surviving clock of its type on this seaboard. We are trying very hard to get her refurbished and working again, so that when you drive down the street, you don't feel like you're in that little bit of a time warp where this side is 6 o'clock and this side sometimes is 4. Sometimes it's beyond that. So we're going to see if we can't get it all functioning again.
Very nice.
I hope to put a brass plaque on it, because I don't think a lot of people realize what a gem she is.
The significance.
Right. So we're going to get her refurbished, and you can see that it's been a while. If you come and look at her, you'll see that her the faceting around her face is actually kind of rotted. We have the piece that's missing. It just kept falling off, and it didn't matter how many times we nailed it back up. It just kept falling off. So we decided we're just going to keep that until she gets back to being all happy and wired and working
and functional.
Right, and then we're going to get her painted and get her all back up in Bristol fashion.
Well, as Downtown Goldsboro Development, we certainly appreciate your passion for, bringing everything back up to speed and back to the beauty in the past.
Right,
when
and it will be
truly
lovely.
a
While we are
beautiful
moving her just a tiny bit, we are moving her so that she'll be visible from the street. If she were to stay where she was, the canopy of trees would block her eventually and you wouldn't see her.
Okay.
So she's actually moving just, well, you can see, she'll fall right in where the dirt is.
Right.
So she stays right here in the footprint of the building, just
Yes.
at the curb so that
to
you can
widen
see her.
the sidewalk.
Right.
Well, it would be a little funny if the clock was right in the middle of the sidewalk.
Well,
so are they kind of pushing it out with the
They are.
widening of the
They're
sidewalk?
pushing her to the curb so that when you're driving in your car, you'll be able to see her. If they left her where she was, the canopy of trees would actually eventually encroach on the clock
Right,
itself,
right.
which could damage the glass.
Counteracts what we're trying
Right.
to do.
And also, you couldn't see her.
Right.
I mean, she would literally be screened. So back out on the street where she was originally, you know, when Mr. Giddon put her, she was right at the curb. So she'll be back at the curb.
Where she belongs.
Right. And I pray functioning and beautiful again,
Yes.
and attributed as she should be, so that every little kid coming down the sidewalk can go, Mama, what does this say? And they'll know how
And understand
what a
history.
pressure, what a treasure
Yes.
she really is. And so
Well, I have no doubt with your passion that you'll make that happen.
I will. I promise I will.
I know you will. Now that ties in nicely, talking about the widening of the sidewalk, with your vision for what the Gladstone will be.
I'm hoping that come the spring and the summer, when the sidewalk is done, I'll have all these lovely planters, and I hope to put a water feature out there and some lovely umbrellas, so that when you're
Beautiful.
downtown, the music will lure you in, the beautiful flowers, the sound of water, and I hope I can entice you to maybe having a little lunch with us.
Yes. Tell us more about that.
Okay.
So now you serve dessert.
We do.
And then we're hoping in the future that you'll be serving lunch as well.
I hope so. In my head, I have this lovely menu of things that are interesting and unusual. I hate to say the word unique. I kind of use it a lot, but
It's very fitting.
but things, for instance, like a beautiful cold cantaloupe soup that's infused with creme fraiche and topped with a little bit of mint, but served in a bowl that is actually the
Really?
cantaloupe. So that when
Wow.
you reach in to get a bite of that soup, you can reach in and get a little bit of the meat of the cantaloupe as well. And maybe that would pair beautifully with, I know it will, a cucumber sandwich. But I would like my sandwiches to be things like apples and sprouts for the crisp, and
Very refreshing.
Right, and to have lovely salads like a tomato-based salad that's actually served in a pepper as its bowl. And we'll
Very
do
unique.
cups, and we'll do bowls, and we'll do half sandwiches, and we'll do whole sandwiches. And our wraps, I want, when the plate comes to you, Erin, I want you to see a tomato wrap, a spinach wrap, and just a regular wrap, and I want you to go, oh, so you have this plethora to choose from, and then you can say
Right.
next time you come, okay, Ruth, I really like the tomato, I want 2 tomatoes and 1 spinach, leave the other guy out. But I want to introduce you to the lovely, fresh, and interesting
Right.
things, and let you experience new things, like also maybe a cold cucumber soup, maybe a cold bisque.
Things that you really wouldn't find anywhere else in
And that would be
Goldsboro.
refreshing and lovely and light, and we'll serve that with, of course, tea, because we're in the South, and
Right,
obviously I like
naturally.
tea as well. But maybe instead of just water, an infused water with orange and strawberry, so that it looks lovely and it's just even better than water.
That sounds delicious. Well, you're all about the details and presentation anyway, so it makes sense that it would tie into your lunch as well. Will that be grab and go as well, if you don't have time to maybe
Yes.
enjoy it on the
Yes,
sidewalk?
I think so. And I think
Good.
even that, though, it'll be packaged lovely, so that when you're back at your desk and you open your little box tied with the gold ribbon, that you feel like you're on a picnic.
I love that.
Okay.
I would love to have a picnic at my desk, because I
yes.
can't always.
I'd love for you to, too. I know how hard you work.
Oh, thank you. But that would be perfect. You know, you don't always have time to come and sit down and enjoy. So if you can grab it and go, but it still be very special. I know that's the vision that you want.
Yes.
So now another thing that I'm sure folks are really curious about, this is such a beautiful space. Is it available to rent out for private parties?
It is. She rents for $50 an hour, and we do all the setup and cleanup. So if you can, I can either recommend a caterer for you, or you can bring in your own things. And if you choose to bring in your own items, if you'll just drop them off to me early, I'll make sure that it's all staged and beautiful.
I'm
so
sure
that
you
when
will.
your guests get here, you get to enjoy your party as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I'll have to keep that in mind for future events. And I'm sure you can recommend some wines to go with their catering as well.
We do. We have sweet wines. We have Moscatos, which is the sweet end. And then we have lovely dry reds. So we run the gamut. But as I said, some of our wines have never been to the U.S. before. And our vendor is from Italy, and Paolo. And he and his family are just wonderful. And they're new like we are, so we're going to grow together.
That's fantastic. Well, there's so much that I love about this space, but one of the things that I enjoy most is that there's a story behind everything. And it really is about the experience. I can ask you about a bottle of wine and you know the family of the distributor, and I think that's amazing. But another thing that I have enjoyed here is watching you, what do you say, pull the cloud when you make, because it's all about presentation. So I would love for our viewers to get to see how that's done.
All right, so we're going to today try a little bit of a market spice, which is almost Christmas in a cup.
Yes.
It is,
and that's your house tea, correct?
Well, actually, we don't have a house tea, but you're correct in that this is our company, which is Market Spice International, Pike's Place Market, Seattle, Washington. This is their signature tea.
Okay.
So it's a lovely Seattle-born, you need it when it's drizzly and cold tea.
Perfect.
Right? So
for days like we've been having lately.
So in the press, what we do is we put the leaf at the bottom, then we introduce the leaf to hot water.
Okay.
Then we give it about a 3 to 5 minute steep. This case, because this is such a robust tea, we do about a 3 minute. Any longer than that, it just gets stronger and stronger, and this does not need that.
Right.
So then after that time, we'll push the plunger, but you never actually press a press, because if you press a press and it doesn't have, now our presses are German engineered by Grosch, but sometimes a press may not have quite the basket or the strainer system that ours do, and if you get in the habit of pushing, you'll bring up what we call tea sand or coffee sand, and that causes the sediment. So I don't know why everybody wants to smoosh it at the end. Then
they just
doesn't really help.
You
just want to.
See, I learn something every time I come in here.
So just push the plunger down, but don't smush. Okay. All right. So then we'll pour off, and all our coffees and teas.
I can already smell it.
In the States, we're so used to looking at color as our nod, as our indicator for whether it's done or not.
Right.
But if I took our teas and our coffees and I put them in the presses and I lined them all up here at the bar, you would see, like stained glass, they all have a different hue. And you can take like one of our coffees, and you and I could watch it for days. It's just never going to get darker than it is. That's just the nature of the bean.
The color that it should be.
And teas are the same way.
Okay.
So a 3 to 5 minute is truly what I mean.
Okay.
Because it's not going to change any after that in color.
So you should just time it.
So just
Don't wait for the indicator of color, but time it.
Now we're going to do what's called pulling the cloud. Now this is just regular whole milk.
Okay.
And with just a few strokes, I'm going to bring the volume from this line all the way up to about here. All right. So
is this
you raise
similar
the plunger.
To a froth?
It is.
Okay.
It is. We're going to call it, we're frothing the milk.
Okay.
So we're going to bring the plunger out of the liquid, okay, and incorporating the air. So I didn't count, but we're done. Very quick. And now
just
this
like
is, so think hot chocolate, think coffee, think tea. All right. So now I'm going to take the top and I'm going to pull the cloud.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it'll sit on the top, and now watch it start to drop in.
Yeah.
Right, isn't that lovely?
Wow.
Now I'm going to hold the cloud back, and I'm going to pour off just a little bit of the liquid to top it. And there you go.
Wow.
Isn't it pretty?
See, where else are you going to get something like this?
And I say, if you're having this in the morning, you've got to have the milk mustache.
Oh,
and
of
if
course.
you're across the table from the person that you're sharing tea or coffee or chocolate with, and you've got that milk mustache and they don't laugh, then they need to go back to bed, because clearly they are not having a good day.
That's right.
Right?
They woke up on the wrong side.
They did.
Now, would you tell me if I had a milk mustache?
No.
Please.
No.
Oh, that's delicious. And it does taste like Christmas in a glass.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so
that's
good.
a happy one, isn't it? Well, they all are.
Is there cinnamon in there?
There is.
Oh, that's very good. Now, I know you have all of these fun pots and your milk container. Do you sell these? Can someone come in and purchase?
We do. We didn't originally, but we had so many requests, and we wanted to make sure that our customers got a really good product, because a press is something you should have the rest of your life, and these will hold up to that. So they've got lovely strainer systems. They're designed to come apart so that they can be cleaned. The glass is the laboratory glass, so it's quite thick. So it's a very, very good product that I'm very proud to carry.
I'm sure you wouldn't sell anything that wasn't a quality product. Just say seal of approval by Ruthie Glisson.
I'll try.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you, sweetie.
And I hope our viewers come in and buy some lovely baked goods for Valentine's Day, or gifts for their, as I call them, galentines. If you don't have a Valentine, I'm sure you have a galentine.
That's nice.
So.
Right, and we do have some lovely. Dennis is a fabulous baker, and please come in and I'll fix you a little sample. So that you can get your appetite whetted, and then I'm pretty sure you'll walk out with a lovely box.
I'm sure you will. I've yet to walk out of here empty-handed.
Oh,
so
I just meant with dessert.
Might take some of that too. But thank you again for having me here today, and I'm sure we'll be back.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
At Ed's in downtown Goldsboro, and here I've got Ed Cogda with me, one of the owners of Ed's, and Chef Chelsea Hogue. So thank you for having me today.
Thank you.
It's good to be here.
Great.
There's been a lot of buzz about Ed's. Now, I know you're fairly new to downtown, but you've already become a local favorite. Do you want to tell me a little bit about your vision for Ed's and why you think it's become so successful?
Well, I'd first like to say we've had a lot of community support. Really, the good people of Goldsboro have come out very strong to support us, which has helped us get off to a great start. Going forward, we have a lot going on. We are starting Sunday brunch this Sunday from 11 till 3. We'd love to have you.
Of course.
Also, with the street construction project, we are eagerly awaiting its conclusion.
Aren't we all?
It's been quite tough to get here, but we are open, and most people find a way to get here. But we can't wait for the road to open up. The sidewalk's going to be beautiful. They're already halfway done with it, and looking forward to having some outdoor table space. I spoke with some of the folks from the city, and they're very willing to work with us on having an outdoor patio area, so we're very excited about that as the spring comes along and the beautiful sidewalk is here. We think it'll be great.
I think so too. And we always say under construction but open for business. So
that's right.
We are looking forward to the end of the construction. That's coming in November.
Good,
so just in time for your outdoor seating next spring.
Good.
Now, Chef Chelsea, should I just call you Chef or Chelsea?
Either is fine.
Now, I've read a little bit about you, and I understand that you refer to your cooking style as Nouveau Southern and farm to table, which is very popular right now.
Yes.
For those of us that don't quite understand those concepts, do you want to explain that a little bit and tell us what to expect?
Nouveau is pretty much French for new.
Right.
So I like to think that, you know, it's Southern food. You know, Ed's has done things like grits, and we've done miniature fried chicken and collards and the stuff that's been in the South for years and years. The Nouveau comes in with it being a little more modern, a little more vamped up, a little more chef-like.
Right.
Farm to table is very, very trendy right now, and with good reason. There's plenty of product that North Carolina provides that's great, and why in the world would we want to, you know, take the risk of pulling in something from somewhere else when we've got so much that's right at our fingertips at home.
Exactly. We really do have so much in North Carolina to choose from, and I don't think that restaurants oftentimes take advantage of that enough, and that's something new that you guys are bringing to Goldsboro that people are really excited about. What are some of the options that you offer that are from North Carolina?
With our new menu that we've been slowly but surely rolling out, we have used to this date and currently use the majority of 17 North Carolina farmers and vendors.
Okay.
Heritage Farms, Cheshire Pork is a big one. We've started with Carolina Bison, Ashley Farms Poulet Rouge, our Holly Grove goat cheese is in several of our new dishes. A lot of our produce, sweet potatoes, collards, kale, all come from local farms.
It's all local.
We've started using local honey. It's gotten so much where I'm on the phone so much with all these people. I'm like, I need this, I need that. But you know, when it all comes together, and after myself and my team put our hands on it, it's really put out some really beautiful plates.
I know it has, and I know that there is definitely a team behind all of this that happens, and a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Can you tell me a little bit about the team that y'all have here and how they help make this successful as well?
Well, it's not an easy task at all. Having everything made from scratch here requires quite a bit of effort, quite a bit of planning. As Chelsea mentioned, she between the two of us, we're always on the telephone trying to conjure up new vendors, new resources. But as she said, there's a bounty here in North Carolina. Just lots of wonderful ingredients. But there is a lot of behind the scenes work going on. We come in here in the morning and start working, trying to prepare for each dinner service.
Right.
You know, making ingredient right down to the mayonnaise is made from scratch.
Really?
So it's
that's great.
It's quite the effort, but I think that Goldsboro appreciates it.
They do.
It's
I think your packed restaurant demonstrates that. If you come in on a Friday night, it's always booming in here. So you guys are doing a great job.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Now, I understand that congratulations are in order to all of the team. You were in a recent cooking competition, is that right?
That's true.
You want to tell me a little bit more about that?
We were selected to compete in the Got to Be and See competition dining series.
Okay.
It's pretty much, it's a statewide year-long competition. And they select chefs that feature North Carolina ingredients in their menus, and they pit them against one another in competition to see who comes out on top. It's almost a combination between Iron Chef and the Sweet 16. So it's a single elimination bracket challenge.
That's a good North Carolina reference that we would understand.
Single elimination bracket challenge, and you get a mystery pantry and a mystery secret ingredient, and I take a team of a couple, and they just cut us loose in one kitchen and say, okay,
wow,
see what you can come up with.
And start to finish, how long does the competition last?
It's a long day. We're actually cooking from about noon until about 6:30 for dinner service promptly at 7.
Wow. And how many people are you serving?
Usually, the last competition we did 140 diners.
Oh my goodness. No pressure. No pressure.
None.
Has that prepared you a little bit for, you know, some more things here in the kitchen? Has that helped you at all in the kitchen here?
Of course. Of course it does.
What's 140 when you're serving, or what's 60 when you're serving 140 in competition?
It helps, you know, the planning. The planning is key. It's a different animal when you've got people rotating in and out constantly.
Right.
You know, so people say, oh yeah, it only has 75 seats, but when you seat 75 seats 2.5, maybe 3 times, you definitely are over your 140 mark.
Right.
The 140 mark just comes in where you have to have it all at once, which is a whole different challenge. But really, having enough food and having the right amount of plates and having the right amount of hands has developed my planning skills further with being involved with the competition, for sure.
That's a really important aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I know your second round is coming up on February 16th, right?
Yeah.
So I know we're excited about that. How can the community support you when you go into round 2?
I would say the biggest way to people to follow along is to watch them on Facebook.
Okay.
Every battle that they have, they do pictures of the teams, they do pictures of the ingredients, they do background information. There's just a constant stream of information that comes from the Competition Dining Facebook page.
Okay.
Their website usually is pretty accurate as well. Chef bios, pictures, so on and so forth. But if you just competitiondining.com, there it is for everybody to see.
Awesome. And I like their bios too, but they also, like you said, the Sweet 16, they have everybody set up in brackets. So it's a neat website to visit. But I know our folks want to know how to catch up with you guys too, and I'm sure you'll share that information on your Facebook page. How can folks find out more about what you have going on?
Well, we're very active on Facebook, and our new website is up and running. It's
good.
At southernfoodandspirits.com.
Okay.
It's has our menu, current pictures. We'd like to take photos of chefs' new creations and let the world see them. And that's a great. Facebook is really our main avenue for showing the world what we're doing here, but we also have a website that you can go to, and you can call us on the telephone too.
The old-fashioned way.
Yes.
How about making a reservation? Is that on the phone? Do you offer that online?
Yes, and that's something that we've kind of run into a little bit of a difficult area. Usually Monday through Thursday, reservations aren't required, but on the weekend, nonetheless, there's a packed house, and we do recommend calling ahead. And I'm kind of old-fashioned. I don't like to ask folks to get up and leave after they finish eating, so it's a little bit unpredictable. It's a little bit of a balancing act as to when the table is going to turn, when the folks are going to get up and leave, and we can seat the next round of folks. But you can make reservations. 947-5143 is our phone number.
We'll give you a call. Sure. And I know you do things throughout the week too, so your weekends are booming, but I know you have events on Thursdays, is that right? Ladies' night?
Yes, Tuesday is actually our ladies' night, where we do half-price bottles of wine in appreciation for all the wonderful ladies in our lives. And as of late, we've started doing live music on Thursday nights.
Oh, so good. Okay.
I just inherited my grandfather's piano and just got it tuned yesterday. Wow. So now
do you play?
Not well enough to play
Not in public.
We'll get there.
We are trying to have musicians that are, complement the style of restaurant we are. Acoustic guitar, piano. I've got a friend who might start playing saxophone here. So we're trying to mix it up a little bit, but on Thursdays we're going to start doing live music on a regular basis. So that's something exciting.
Yeah, a lot of reasons to come throughout the week too.
It is. And we've also decided for Monday nights we're gonna call it Martini Mondays. So we'll be doing half-price martinis on Monday if you would like to stop by after work.
Well, thank you. It's 5 o'clock somewhere anyway.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We've learned a lot, and I look forward to all the new and exciting things that you have going on.
Well, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. This looks delicious. Is this one of your favorites?
Yes, it is.
Well, this was prepared by Chef Noe. I'm here with Serene from the Laughing Owl, and she's going to tell us about this wonderful entree that we have in front of us. And this will be, I'm guessing, on your menu for Valentine's Day, right?
Yes, that's right.
So I know we have prawn. What else is this?
This is a lemon crispy prawns. And it's in a caramelized black peppercorn sweet soy glaze over a bed of frisee, and top off with roasted crushed cashews.
That looks delicious. Is this one of your customer favorites?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else do you recommend for Valentine's Day? Say I'm bringing my fiance here for Valentine's Day. What should we order?
Definitely a bottle of wine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll start there.
Some crab rangoons, perhaps, to start. And definitely, one of our feature entrees. And we're also having a surf and turf, which is a New York strip and lobster tail.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay, so these are your Valentine's specials.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So if I want to make a reservation, how do I do that?
Please give us a call.
Okay.
At 919-734-3233.
Okay. And you're great for Facebook too. I follow you on Facebook and I can see what you're serving that day.
Yes.
If it's cold outside, you post a picture of soup. So you're really good about that. What's your Facebook page that people can follow you on?
It's Laughing Out Restaurant.
Okay. Now, are you open for lunch as well as dinner?
Yes, we're open from 11 to 2:30 Monday through Friday, and dinner service starts at 4 p.m.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 4:30.
4:30. Okay.
But that's Monday through Saturday.
Okay, perfect. So Saturday and Monday through Saturday is 4:30 p.m. dinner time. And what time are you going to start taking reservations for Valentine's Day?
We've already started taking reservations.
Okay.
And we have live jazz. We've always had live jazz. We've been doing that for about 10 years.
Yeah.
So definitely want to reserve a spot.
Perfect.
Early.
Set the ambiance in the restaurant.
That's right.
Now, one more thing. I get a lot of calls at the DGDC about someone looking for an event space, if they have a rehearsal dinner or if they're just having a business lunch or something like that. You have an event space here, correct?
We do.
Okay. How many people does that seat?
Up to 100.
100, okay.
That's right.
So you can have a small or a large party. And how do they go about booking that room? Do they give you a call?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that something that needs to be booked well in advance?
Definitely.
Okay.
And we definitely will coordinate that with the customers.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for having us today. I'm really excited to try this shrimp, and hopefully I'll be here on Valentine's Day too.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Serene.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Downtown Living Show. For more information on downtown Goldsboro, visit us online at downtowngoldsboro.com or find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Downtown Goldsboro.
And we're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. By the way, it is Friday, and it's the 13th.
Happy Friday.
Happy
Friday the 13th.
Yo ho ho. And tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and I hope you're doing something.
That's right.
Please do something.
Show those you love them.
I also want to remind you that if you happen to miss part of today's program, or you want to go back and see another part over again, and who would want to do that? But
There's
if you
lots
want
of
to
great
do
interviews,
that,
Wayne.
Oh, I know. I'm just kidding around. You can go to you can go online to our WayneGov.com website, WayneGov.com. Click on the YouTube link in a day or so, and you'll be able to see the entire program again.
That's right. You can also go to goldsboronc.gov. Do the same thing. Click on the YouTube link. It'll take you straight to our programs. And one of the things we were talking about before we went to the interviews was jobs people had before they got where they are today.
Before they hit it big.
Especially when they were younger.
Yeah.
So tell me a couple jobs you had when you were young.
Oh my goodness.
So you said you were a paper boy.
I was a paper boy. I also worked at a drugstore in Greensboro as a delivery guy. When I was 16, I got my license, and they immediately put me to work. And but I did that drugstore. Dad was a builder, so during the summer months I worked lifting brick and and lumber and all that. And let's see, what else did I do? I worked for a consumer loan company.
Did you?
Yeah. Of course, I was a little older then.
Right.
But I've also, between jobs here, back about 30 years ago, and when I was an adult between jobs, I actually went to work washing cars.
There you go.
So, hey, I've done a little bit of everything.
Sounds like it.
drummer in a band.
That's what I was waiting for you to say that.
Oh yeah. And that, but I don't count that as a job.
Yeah.
Because I never made any money at it. But,
I understand.
Did a little bit of everything. Of course, I was on radio for a while.
20, 25, 30 years?
Yeah, keep going. I don't know.
35?
It was all a blur. It's still a blur. Okay, what about you?
I was a lifeguard.
Were you really?
Did that for about 3 summers.
You and Ronald Reagan. Wow.
I know, go figure.
I know.
Did that for a while. When I was in college, worked in a little dress shop in Greenville.
Yeah.
Over at ECU.
Did you?
Of course. My mom owned daycare centers. And she had multiple daycare centers, so she would have me traveling with the youth in the summer to sort of entertain them and help keep them in line and take them to their various swimming lessons and skating parties, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But I had lots of really good jobs. I started working about 16.
Did you?
In the summers.
Yeah.
Not during the school year, but during the summer.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, my mom encouraged us, my brother and I both, to get out and find something we didn't enjoy doing and make a little money.
Yeah, it sounds like you enjoyed.
Feeling of independence. I did. I enjoyed all mine.
Well, that's great.
Sure did.
Well, that's great.
did,
So you're a lifeguard, huh? Wow.
Many summers. Many
Really?
summers in many different arenas.
I had no idea.
Yep. Enjoyed that.
All right.
Didn't enjoy cleaning out those bathrooms so good, though. That's part of the job.
Part of the job. That's what lifeguards have to do.
I did not enjoy that, but that was part of it.
All right. So
Yep.
what did you tell Baywatch when they called you?
Not going to happen.
Okay. Well, they're lost. Okay. Let's see. What is today? Today's the 13th, right?
That's right.
All right. Today
So what
is
special is about
Blame Someone Else Day.
Wayne,
What?
why'd you do it?
I didn't mean to. It was an accident.
What else we have?
Desperation Day. It's also Employee Legal Awareness Day. Employee Legal Awareness Day.
Okay.
Today is also Madly in Love with Me Day.
That's odd.
That's really odd. Get a Different Name Day.
Oh, that's interesting.
Call me Butch. It's also World Radio Day, and there you go. All right?
All right. Lots of special stuff.
Lots of special
So don't
stuff.
forget, tonight is the Daddy-Daughter Dance at Herman Park Center. You can still call and register. It's $7 per person. That's from 6 until 8 at Herman Park Center. And I'm trying to think what's going on next week. Have we got anything major happening next week?
It starts on Monday, I think.
What does?
The week.
Well, really? Really, does it? Every week has a Monday. My goodness.
When did that happen? They put Mondays in every one of them. That
Yes, it has.
They had to do that.
Well, guess what?
We're out of
That
time.
is all for today. Everybody have a fantastic weekend.
Indeed, do that now, and we'll be right back here with you Monday morning. So join us then, and if you missed the program, it airs again at noon and at 5:30 p.m. So until Monday, for Wayne Goldsboro Television, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. And this is what's happening in your community.